2026 is not just another year, it's your year. A year where you stop bending, stop apologizing, and stop putting everyone else's needs above your own. Imagine waking up every day feeling in control, confident, unstoppable. This is the year you choose you. Because if you don't put yourself first, who will? Let's make 2026 the year of self-respect, self-love, and ultimate personal power. Stop letting others dictate your life. This is the first truth you must accept if you want 2026 to be your year. Far too long, so many of us have been living according to someone else's schedule, someone else's rules, someone else's expectations. We bend, we compromise, and we say yes when every fiber of our being wants to say no. And why? Because we fear rejection, because we fear conflict, because we fear being seen as selfish. But let me tell you this, putting yourself first is not selfish, it is necessary. It is the foundation on which your freedom, your happiness, and your power are built. When you constantly allow others to control your time and your energy, you're giving away pieces of yourself without even realizing it. You feel drained, frustrated, and trapped. Yet you convince yourself it's normal. But I want you to understand that normal does not equal healthy. Normal does not equal empowered. If you continue living for everyone else, you will wake up at the end of the year asking yourself, where did my life go? You will have invested your energy in projects, people, and situations that don't serve your growth, and the cost of that will be your own dreams left on hold. In 2026, this changes. You have to start protecting your time as if it were the most valuable asset you own, because it is. The truth is, every moment you give to someone else is a moment you could have spent building yourself, your dreams, and your peace of mind. It is okay to say no. In fact, it is necessary. Saying no does not make you a bad person. It does not make you unkind. It makes you strong. It makes you intentional. When you say no to what drains you, you create space for what elevates you. You reclaim your energy, your focus, and your life. Now, I know what you're thinking, but if I say no, they will be angry. They will be disappointed. They will think I don't care. And here's the truth you need to embrace. You cannot control how others respond. You can only control yourself. And if putting yourself first causes temporary discomfort for someone else, that is not your burden to carry. Your responsibility is to yourself first, because without your well-being, your energy, and your clarity, you can't show up fully for anyone, not even the people you love. Setting boundaries is the armor you wear in 2026. Boundaries protect you from the constant pull of people's demands, the endless noise of expectations, and the subtle guilt that keeps you trapped in other people's lives. When you start enforcing boundaries, you will notice something remarkable. People begin to respect you more. Not because you change them, not because you manipulate situations, but because you finally show them that your life, your time, and your energy matter. And that respect is contagious. It shifts the way people see you and the way they treat you. Think about the last time you felt truly overwhelmed, stretched thin, or resentful because of someone else's demands. How did that feel in your body? That tightness in your chest, that headache from stress, that nagging exhaustion, it's all a warning sign. Your body, your mind, your soul is telling you enough. And yet, so many of us ignore it. In 2026, listen to that inner voice, respect it, act on it. It will guide you to the people, the tasks, and the opportunities that deserve your attention and away from the ones that steal your joy. And here is something powerful. Putting yourself first doesn't mean you stop caring for others. It doesn't mean you abandon your responsibilities or your loved ones. It means you prioritize your foundation first. You put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. Because when you are strong, rested, and clear, you give more of yourself in a way that is sustainable and meaningful. You give without resentment. You give without losing yourself, and that is the true power of self-prioritization. Many people fear that putting themselves first will lead to loneliness or conflict. But the opposite happens. When you set boundaries and claim your time, you attract the right people, the ones who respect your space, who value your energy, who support your growth. You naturally filter out those who drain you, who demand without give-in, who take without appreciation, and in doing so, you create a circle of influence that elevates you rather than diminishes you. You stop being a participant in someone else's story and become the author of your own. Remember, this is a practice. You will stumble, you will feel guilty, you will question yourself, but every time you choose yourself, every time you protect your time, every time you say no without apology, you grow stronger. You train your mind and your heart to prioritize what matters most. And over time, it becomes second nature. Putting yourself first is not a one-time decision. It is a daily commitment, a conscious choice, a non-negotiable standard for the life you want to live. So in 2026, I challenge you, stop living in reaction to everyone else. Stop allowing the chaos of other people's expectations to dictate your peace. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for your growth. Protect your time, honor your energy, and say yes only to what aligns with your highest vision for yourself. Put yourself first, unapologetically, relentlessly, and watch how your life transforms. Your life is yours. Claim it. Your personal growth must become non-negotiable. In 2026, there is no room for excuses, hesitation, or half-hearted attempts. Too often, we put everyone else first, and in doing so, we neglect the most important investment we will ever make, ourselves. Your mind, your body, your skills, your vision, these are assets that compound in value the more attention you give them. And yet, so many of us treat growth as optional, something we might get around to when the timing feels right. Let me tell you something. There is no perfect time. There's no magical moment when life suddenly says, go ahead, now you can focus on yourself. The moment is now. The year is now. 2026 is your call to action. Growth isn't just about reading a book or taking a class. Growth is about becoming a person who can handle more, who can dream bigger, who can rise higher. It's about stretching yourself beyond comfort, embracing challenges, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. If you don't push yourself, if you don't prioritize your own evolution, you will remain the same person next year as you were last year. And think about that for a moment. Ask yourself, is that the life I want? To wake up in 2027 realizing I did not grow, I did not evolve, I did not invest in the one person who matters most, myself? The answer has to be no. The first step in prioritizing growth is understanding that time is your most valuable currency. Every hour you spend scrolling endlessly, every hour you waste on meaningless distractions is an hour you could have used to improve your skills, sharpen your mind, and prepare yourself for the opportunities that are waiting for you. In 2026, make a vow to invest at least 1 hour a day in yourself, not for entertainment, not for social media validation, not for anyone else's approval, but for the one person who truly deserves your attention. 1 hour a day of focused learning, reflection, and intentional action compound into a level of expertise, confidence, and clarity that no one can take from you. Growth also requires courage. It requires the willingness to step into discomfort, to face the parts of yourself you've ignored, and to take responsibility for your own life. You will encounter moments where fear whispers in your ear, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? In those moments, remind yourself that growth is born in discomfort. Every failure, every mistake, every setback is simply a signal that you are stretching beyond your current limits. And every time you persist, every time you take one more step despite fear, you expand the boundaries of what is possible for you. You also need clarity on where you want to grow. Growth without direction is like running on a treadmill. You expend energy, but never move forward. Identify the areas of your life that matter most to your vision for 2026. Is it your health, your financial independence, your career, your mindset, your relationships? Decide where you want to excel and make a plan to prioritize those areas relentlessly. Track your progress, celebrate small wins, adjust when necessary, but never stop moving forward. The world rewards those who improve consistently, even when no one is watching. And here's something most people don't realize. Investing in yourself inspires others. When you commit to growth, you model what it looks like to take life seriously, to value yourself, and to refuse to settle. People notice. People are drawn to energy that is growing, evolving, and expanding. Your personal growth creates momentum that touches not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. But remember, the primary beneficiary is always you. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot inspire, support, or lead others if you are not growing yourself. Another critical element of growth is embracing the power of reflection. Take time to review your habits, your choices, and your mindset. Ask yourself, are these actions moving me closer to the life I desire? Are these relationships elevating me or holding me back? Are my daily routines aligned with my goals? Reflection is the compass that ensures your growth is purposeful. Without it, you may improve, but you may not improve in the direction that truly matters. In 2026, reflection is your secret weapon. Make it consistent. Make it honest. Make it transformative. Growth is also about shedding limiting beliefs. These are the stories we tell ourselves that keep us small. I'm not ready. I don't have enough time. I'll never be able to do that. In 2026, you must confront those beliefs and replace them with a new narrative. I am capable. I am worthy of success. I will learn and adapt. The mind is a powerful engine, and if you fuel it with doubt and fear, you will only stall. But when you fuel it with determination, clarity, and self-belief, it becomes unstoppable. Your growth begins in the mind, then manifests in your actions, and finally transforms your life. And let's be honest, growth is not always comfortable. It demands sacrifice. It demands consistency. It demands patience. There will be moments when you feel like quitting, when progress seems slow, when the world tempts you with easier paths. In those moments, remember why you started. Remember the vision of the person you are becoming. Remember that every hour, every decision, every deliberate action compounds into a stronger, wiser, more empowered version of yourself. Finally, understand that growth is limitless. There is no ceiling to what you can learn, achieve, or become. Every new skill, every piece of knowledge, every shift in mindset opens doors you never imagined. In 2026, commit to growth not as a temporary goal, but as a lifestyle. Decide that you will never settle, never stagnate, and never stop investing in the most important asset you will ever have, yourself. Your life is waiting. Your potential is waiting. And the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is your willingness to prioritize your own growth. Make 2026 the year that you become unstoppable, unshakable, and unapologetically committed to the most important person in your life, you. Your growth is non-negotiable. People will always have opinions about you. They will always talk, judge, and attempt to steer your life in directions that suit them, not you. In 2026, it is time to stop allowing the noise of others to drown out your voice. So many of us spend our lives seeking approval, chasing validation, or worrying about what others think of our choices. We compromise, we apologize, we shrink ourselves in the hope that someone will like us. In doing so, we lose connection with the one person who should matter most, ourselves. This year, the permission to live for you is non-negotiable. Your life, your dreams, your vision, these are yours to honor, not theirs to critique. The first step in amplifying our voice is understanding that not everyone's opinion is valuable. Just because someone expresses a judgment doesn't mean it has truth. Too often, we give weight to voices that carry no authority over our lives, allowing them to manipulate our decisions and dim our confidence. In 2026, refuse to let this happen. Listen to guidance from those who inspire, challenge, and lift you but silent. The critics who drain you, discourage you, or attempt to control you. You must create a mental space where only clarity, purpose, and self-belief exist. Think about the last time someone tried to undermine your confidence or belittle your choices. How did you respond? Did you shrink? Did you explain yourself excessively? Did you seek their approval? Now imagine responding differently. Imagine simply continuing on your path without seeking validation. Imagine knowing that your value, your worth, and your decisions are not subject to someone else's judgment. That is the power you claim in 2026, the power of independence, the power of self-respect, and the power of silence in the face of criticism. Amplifying your voice doesn't mean shouting louder than everyone else. It doesn't mean aggression or confrontation. It means acting decisively, living authentically, and letting your results speak louder than their words. When you are consistent, disciplined, and focused, your actions leave no room for doubt. People may still have opinions, but their opinions no longer control your life. You become untouchable because your energy is directed toward growth, purpose, and vision rather than fear, guilt, or the need for approval. In 2026, Part of amplifying your voice is owning your choices without apology. Every decision you make to invest in yourself, to pursue your goals, to protect your boundaries, will inevitably spark opinions. Some will criticize, some will envy, some will try to convince you to conform. In the past, you may have hesitated, softened your choices, or explained yourself. This year, you act with clarity and confidence, knowing that an explanation is only necessary when it aligns with your growth. Your focus is not on pleasing others, it is on fulfilling your vision. You will also learn that the people who truly matter respect authenticity over conformity. Those who criticize simply because they cannot understand your path are not your audience. Your energy is too valuable to be wasted on convincing skeptics. Instead, channel your effort into progress. Let your results, your mindset, and your confidence speak volumes. Over time, even the doubters will notice the transformation. Some may even follow your example, but the key is that their approval is no longer the driver, is merely a byproduct of your self-commitment. Amplifying your voice requires consistency. It is not a one-time act of defiance, it is a daily practice. It is the repeated act of choosing yourself over external pressure, of speaking your truth through action, and of refusing to bend to opinions that do not serve your growth. Every time you choose this path, you strengthen your self-trust, your confidence, and your ability to navigate life on your terms. Over time, this consistency creates a reputation not built on words, but on undeniable presence, capability, and resilience. Another essential element is cultivating inner silence. The louder the world becomes, the more important it is to nurture stillness within. By quieting the noise of judgment, gossip, and external pressures, you create clarity. This clarity allows you to see your path, understand your priorities, and make decisions without hesitation or distraction. In 2026, let silence be your secret weapon. It shields you from unnecessary influence, while sharpening your focus and magnifying your voice through action. You must also embrace the fact that opinions are temporary, but your choices define your legacy. People may criticize today, misunderstand tomorrow, or doubt you next week. Their words are fleeting, their judgments are passing, but the life you build, the progress you make, and the self-respect you cultivate are permanent. When you focus on creating a life aligned with your vision, the opinions of others become insignificant. You stop reacting, and you start leading yourself, leading your life, and leading through example. 2026 is the year to stop seeking permission to be yourself. Stop explaining why you are ambitious, why you protect your energy, why you invest in your growth. Stop justifying your choices to anyone who cannot see your vision. Every minute you spend defending your life is a minute stolen from living it. Instead, act with intentionality, speak with purpose, and allow your life to demonstrate what words cannot. Your voice becomes undeniable when backed by consistency, integrity, and relentless pursuit of your goals. Finally, understand that amplifying your voice is a gift to yourself and to the world. When you stop fearing judgment, when you stop shrinking to fit expectations, when you stop apologizing for prioritizing your life, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of courage, clarity, and self-respect. You demonstrate that living authentically is not only possible, but powerful. In 2026, claim that power. Own your decisions, protect your energy, speak through your actions, and let the world adjust to your presence. Your life is not a suggestion. Your path is yours to define, and your voice, the one that has been silenced for too long, is ready to be heard. Stand firm. Putting yourself first isn't just about actions, it's about mindset. It's about the way you view your own value, the way you honor your time, your energy, and your potential every single day. In 2026, you cannot wait for permission to prioritize yourself. You cannot allow guilt, doubt, or the opinions of others to dictate whether you treat yourself with respect and care. Self-love is not optional. It is the foundation of every choice you make, every boundary you set, and every success you achieve. Without it, even the accomplishments you chase will feel hollow. Self-love begins with awareness. Awareness of your needs, your desires, and your limits. Too often, we ignore the signals our body, mind, and soul send us. We ignore the exhaustion, the stress, the creeping resentment, telling ourselves we must keep going for the sake of others. But in 2026, listen closely. Your body is your most loyal companion. Your mind is your most honest advisor. Your soul is the compass that guides you to fulfillment. Ignoring them in the name of obligation is not strength, it is surrender. Strength is recognizing your worth and acting accordingly, even if the world protests. When you put yourself first, you create a life that aligns with your energy and your vision. You begin to say no to what drains you and yes to what elevates you. This does not mean abandoning responsibilities or rejecting everyone around you. It means making intentional choices that preserve your well-being while empowering you to give more authentically, without depletion or resentment. When you practice self-love consistently, it becomes impossible for others to manipulate your energy or steal your peace. You become grounded, centered, and unshakable. Self-love also demands discipline. You cannot simply declare that you love yourself and expect the world, or even yourself, to follow suit. It is a daily practice, a series of decisions and habits that reinforce your worth. It could be as simple as dedicating time to exercise, reflection, or learning. It could be as deliberate as distancing yourself from toxic relationships, unnecessary drama, or constant distractions. Every intentional choice you make is an act of self-respect. Every moment you refuse to compromise your energy in favor of convenience is a declaration that you are a priority. In 2026, self-love is also about forgiveness, especially forgiveness of yourself. How often have you allowed your past mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities to define your worth? How often have you berated yourself for not being enough, not doing enough, or not achieving enough? Let this year be different. Let this year be the year you release the weight of self-blame and embrace your growth. You are a work in progress, and progress is what matters most. Every choice to put yourself first is a step forward, not a detour. And every act of self-love strengthens the foundation of your life. Self-love is further demonstrated in your ability to protect your peace. In 2026, this means cutting off relationships, habits, and environments that erode your energy. It means saying no without explanation, stepping away without guilt, and refusing to tolerate behaviors that compromise your dignity. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it is strategic. It is a declaration that your time, your energy, and your life are too valuable to be wasted on negativity, conflict, or unnecessary chaos. Every boundary you set becomes a shield for your growth, happiness, and ultimate success. Putting yourself first also means embracing self-responsibility. You cannot rely on others to validate your worth, to make you feel capable, or to provide the happiness you deserve. That responsibility belongs to you. You are the architect of your life. Your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions create the reality you live in. In 2026, stop blaming circumstances. Stop waiting for opportunity to fall into your lap, and stop expecting others to fill the voids you ignore. Take ownership of your life fully, and put yourself first in every decision that shapes your journey. Self-love extends to your mindset about success and achievement. When you prioritize yourself, you create the conditions to pursue goals without compromise. You pursue excellence not to impress others, but because you respect your own potential. You challenge yourself because growth feels inevitable when your foundation is self-respect. And the more you accomplish in alignment with your values, the more confident you become in your ability to navigate life on your terms. Every goal achieved becomes proof that your self-investment pays dividends beyond measure. And here's the truth most people overlook. Putting yourself first is contagious. When you model self-respect, self-discipline, and self-love, others are inspired to do the same. Your energy sets the standard for those around you. They begin to treat you with the respect you demand. They adjust to your boundaries. They recognize your presence as someone who cannot be diminished or manipulated. And in that ripple effect, your life becomes a magnet for positivity, opportunity, and meaningful connection. In 2026, the practice of putting yourself first should be seamless, but it will not be easy. Guilt may arise. Resistance from others may appear. Old habits of people-pleasing may tempt you to revert. When this happens, remind yourself that your life is not a rehearsal. Your energy is finite. Your potential is priceless. Every time you choose to honor yourself, you reinforce the habit to mindset at the foundation upon which a fulfilled, empowered life is built. Over time, putting yourself first becomes effortless, instinctual, and unshakable. Finally, understand that self-love is not passive, it is active. It is the decisions you make every day. It is the boundaries you enforce, the habits you cultivate, the knowledge you acquire, and the relationships you nurture. It is saying yes